Yes, I'm due to take out the garbage to start today with an empty garbage can, but I did not do that yesterday. So I'm looking right now at the top empty bottle of water. It's an empty bottle. There was water in there. The water is in here, along with half of this bottle of water. And I thought I was ahead of the day because this is new soup mix I have not used before, and I was going to be happy about it. And now I'm the overlord who says, I know the problem, but the soul just discovered the problem. So I just opened this today, and I didn't open it on the camera because I had to do separation of the soup mix into two parts so I can make two batches of the soup. So that's why I didn't open it on camera. I used both hands to separate this soup mix in here is about half from this soup mix here, and it has evenly distributed the soup powder right here. That's evenly distributed between this half and this half approximately. So I did spoon it into here, and I have it spooned into here. And you can see from the pot that there's a little soup mix in there because I was using the pot to hold the soup mix while I was separating it between the bowl and the bag. And now that I'm done describing that trouble, I read bring 7 cups of water to a rolling boil. I was expecting it to say read 8 cups, but it says reads 7 cups. And then whisk in soup mix and 1 can of 6 ounces tomato paste. And I don't have tomato paste, and I didn't ask for it. And I suppose it's on the internet, you can read that, but I didn't read it. No. I just saw that for the first time now, and I already have the bag open, and I have it separated to make 2 batches. And I don't have the tomato paste to separate that into 2 batches. I don't. Nope. So I find myself missing this bag of soup. I don't want to use it because I replaced it with the chili mix. This is not paid for to read whisk in soup mix right here because it says whisk in soup mix and 1 can of tomato paste if you put it all together in one batch, the whole bag. And I can't because it won't fit in this pot. And I've been using this pot to make Bear Creek soups. So I expected all the Bear Creek soups would be fitting into this pot because I've been separating the bag. So I did use this minestrone and separate, well, actually the one with, did I do this one? Okay, let me leave that alone. This one, I use part of it. I've done it in thirds and I've done it in half, approximately. Sometimes I make it too thin, sometimes I make it too thick, but I'm able to make it. Yeah, but there's no requirement for added ingredients here, except water. I don't have to add milk or anything. I don't have to add tomato paste. So, I don't want to throw this away because it looks delicious. It looks really good. But it needs tomato paste. And then it needs to be the whole pot of 7 cups. I owe one more half a cup. Okay, to make it 7 cups, this is that I added 6 cups of water, 3 and 3. 3 cups for this and 3 cups for this, but it's to be 7. So this is to be 3.5 cups in here. 3.5 cups in here, and there's only 3 cups in here. And the water is contaminated already with the soup mix. As you can see, it's a little reddish or brownish, a little powder. I would not mix that with another soup mix. No, I would not. I would use this one. That was the point. That I was going to eat it. So I need another half cup. This is 1 cup here, so I need half of what's in this bottle to go into this pot to make this soup mix with the tomato paste. I don't have tomato paste. I know I said that, but I am saying it again because there's something wrong with the directions. I'm repeating myself illegally as the overlord because the directions are low. I'm the overlord, knows everything. I'm omniscient, and I know that this is true, but my soul doesn't know, and it's making that motion right now that it didn't know, and that it opened the bag, and it found the contents this way. That I have to separate the contents this way, so that's how I find it. And it's not true that I can because I'm missing the tomato paste. And I'm the overlord who's saying that's not due because the other soup mixes by Bear Creek don't require tomato paste. That means I don't afford that. It's not included in the chili mix. And I don't want to eat it without the tomato paste because I don't actually need it. I have another bag of this that I don't want to waste because I want to use it. So I can wait until, just add water and tomato paste. Okay, now I'm over here and I can see this part. But that was torn off of the other bag that I just had on the camera. Just add water and tomato paste. 25 minutes. That I could see. I knew it said 25 minutes. I did not see just add water and tomato paste. That's not just and tomato paste. Just add and tomato paste. It's just add water. It's just one. It's not just and tomato paste. It can't be 2. I didn't see it that way as the overlord. Yep. It doesn't speak English correctly. That's not an order to speak English right there. So the top of the soup mix is right there in the garbage. It's that green strip right there that comes off of here. I tore it with my hand is why it's like this. It's not straight across like a scissors cut it, which might not be straight, but it would be straighter than that. So what's my plan? I'm the overlord who's about to need the soul to make a plan of what to do with the soup mix because I asked for it. Well, I asked for it, but why? Because I thought it would be delicious. That's why I asked for it. I thought I would love it. And I don't know that because I don't have tomato paste. And what is to make up for that? I didn't ask for tomato paste when it's right there on the bag that it requires tomato paste, but it says just, which doesn't speak English. So how am I supposed to explain that to a payee? If Mitch is the payee for paying the supermarket for me, the charges for the food, how am I supposed to explain to the payee that there's something wrong with somebody else? Well, it's not me because I have the mental defect, and that's all I can do is say I have a mental defect, and you can't tell me, oh, you have a mental defect, that's your fault, and that's your problem, that's yourself. That's what's wrong with you. That's not what's wrong with me. That's how I say it. That is what's wrong with what you say about me talking to you about myself. You dismiss that I speak about myself when I speak. You just dismiss it because I'm not yourself, and you tell me what you afford in your mental constitution, and you don't because that's dismissed by me. You can't dismiss me because I speak to you about myself, because I'm not yourself. That is exactly how you are due in jail and prison, and I don't put you in jail and prison with myself. You have to go it alone. You have to go to jail and prison by yourself. You have illegal genitals. It's not going to get any better. Do I have illegal genitals? Yes, I do. And I must decease myself. I'm none higher than he deceased right here. And that's my leverage to say that you have illegal genitals. You didn't notice that you have illegal genitals. You didn't figure that out with yourself, that you have illegal genitals with themselves. You need me to say I'm none higher than he deceased right here to tell you that you have illegal genitals. That's what it takes in leverage for me to speak. And then after that, I have to disclaim myself that my genitals are illegal. But I have to decease myself. Well, this is going low. You're just living off of that. It died that way. What's wrong? I don't actually move you. No, you have to move yourselves, and you don't because you belong in jails and prisons. But if you were in a jail, yep, that's my hair. If you were in a jail, if you were in a jail, you would have to have a jail office making payments to the super cashiers, and then put the cashiers in jail with you until you fill up the jail, and then the food should be free to me after that. And then you need to stand outside the supermarket and keep everybody else out. But I'm allowed in there, but I wouldn't go in there. I need someone to go in there for me and bring me the food because I don't have full height anymore. And that's how I can say this. I don't have a live saying what I'm saying unless I lost at least 2 inches of my height already. And then my head is deformed. My head is bigger and my height is shorter. So technically I lost 3 inches or so of my height. And my head isn't really there. I have no head pretty much. So I can't afford that you're there in the money. It's true that you need to be in jails and prisons and use the prison. Prison won't have an office. The jail has an office. If the prison has an office, that means you didn't get deceased ever. And that's what it looks like. The prison would have an office. So we don't have the jail office solved so that there would be a prison office that you could go to. And then the address is deceased by the television news, the local news. And then it's true that people might be able to get there, but that's just because you did something wrong. You're not supposed to be able to get to a prison. You're supposed to have the address deceased. If you can get to a prison because the address is not deceased and prejudice, that means you did something wrong and you can't get out of it. Well, I need you to find that. Not that you're on a cell phone ordering food for me and you're not going to jail or prison ever because you're waiting for God to give you a death, but you don't acknowledge that it's me. I'm the one who's giving deceased. If you don't go to jail and prison because I said so, and that would have to be known, you would have to testify. That's one of the reasons that you're there, because you heard somebody tell you that you were alone in the wrong, and you went to jail and prison to declare that you were alone in the wrong for the reasons you were alone in the wrong, and for also because that's what I said to you, that's what I needed out of you. If you don't do that, I can't help you. You're going out of your genitals right in front of me. I'm not going to hold you alive in genitals. I'm not here. I'm not going to jail for you so that I can finally say, I'm not going to hold you alive in your genitals. Nope. I'm the one who makes it possible for you to alive in genitals in this world and in every world, but in this world here from your point of view. And I do not hold you alive in genitals. You are still there in a temporary stay until I am deceased out of my own genitals. So you will know that your own way. You will not be in your own genitals after I'm done here. That's how you'll know I'm not in genitals anymore.